What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my latest mini Let's Play series, Half-Life Decay. So, if you were fortunate enough to pick up a PS2 copy of Half-Life like I recommended so many years ago, it would have come with a free copy of this on the disc, Half-Life Decay, which is a console-exclusive side campaign expansion to the main Half-Life campaign, similar to Blue Shift and Opposing Force, but unlike Blue Shift and Opposing Force, which have never had console releases, this one has never had a PC release or any other console release outside the PS2. So if you never got it back in the day, well, too bad, you're out of luck. And I imagine that this would actually be pretty hard to find nowadays because of the fact that you would either have to look for it online, on eBay or something, or Amazon, or at a used game store like Play and Trade, because as of this summer, GameStop is officially antiquating the PS2, so this game is going to be much harder to find. But the thing about, I want to say that you can play this on the PC through emulators, but there is no direct PC ported version of this game using the PC version of the Half-Life engine. But you can, however, get this texture pack that is on the PS2 version through on the PC version. It was released as a downloadable texture pack. I'm not sure when or how, but it's there. I've seen it done. But the gimmick for Decay is that it is a two-player split-screen co-op game. But you can play it by yourself by having the button for your flashlight be the score, I think, and the select button be to switch back and forth between the two characters. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you switch with the... I don't remember. Anyway, so we have two characters we're playing as now we have to switch back and forth between. Their names are Gina Cross and Colette Green, and they're both scientists that were busy with the experiment behind the scenes before the Resonance Cascade happened, and they will be involved in Gordon Freeman's adventure in more ways than we realize, but none that are actually all that relevant to him. So, basically we just have to go through this opening sequence here, very similar to the other Half-Life games, just interacting with these characters, and getting through all the security and stuff to where we can go and start our day, start the experiment, you know. Everything is... Oh, he didn't say the line. There's supposed to be a line where he hits on her and asks her out or something, but I couldn't get him to say it for some reason. Whatever. I think he only asks Gina. But yeah, this is a lot more convenient to play on split screen. It probably would have been best to record this LP like this, but I couldn't get the split screen recording setup working all that well with doing commentary with two people, and there wasn't anyone I could get to play split screen with me that knew this game as well as I did, so it just made more sense for me to do it solo. But who knows, maybe I'll re-record it one day on co-op if you guys really want to see that. But for the most part, this is just going to be me switching back and forth between the two characters and moving them along as the missions progress. So it's basically just going to be like regular Half-Life on the PS2, but with the fact that we have to switch back and forth between the two characters to complete various puzzles and tasks. Now if you're wondering, why didn't you record this way back in the day, like several years ago when you did the original Half-Life walkthrough? Well, that's because my copy of the PS2 version back in the day was incapable of running this. It would get past this initial mission here, and then it would refuse to load any of the future missions. So, and that's because it's one of those funky blue PS2 discs that never seem to work for some reason. I don't know what the reason behind that is, but it seems like it's a particular pattern that those the blue PS2 discs all seem to be of rare games, relatively speaking, and they all seem to stop working after some point. So, but luckily enough, I was able to find another newer copy of Half-Life for the PS2 that I'm playing on right now, just because I like the game so much. I didn't have much regret in buying it twice, especially because the first copy of it I bought was only like $11, and this one was only like $9. So, it's really not a big deal at all, especially for a great game such as this. But I'm glad I waited until now, because now that I have this new recording setup, the game looks much better now that it's in HD. And obviously my commentary is a lot better quality and all that other crap. And there we go. And speaking of which, I do plan to re-record and re-release the original Half-Life walkthrough as a genuine LP and in HD and everything with the full commentary. and post the videos as video responses to the original. So if anyone comes across the original, they can find the newer version in the video responses instead of immediately judging it for poor quality, which luckily I've had very few people do. But if you guys want to go back and watch that original LP, it is very bad as far as the quality goes, the video quality and the audio quality. I still stand by a lot of things I said during that LP. I still felt like I had thoroughly test played the game enough and that my actual run through it went well. But overall, it's definitely something I am not going to feel any shame in redoing. And I already have about half of it recorded if you guys want me to upload it. I just wanted to wait until I had more of an audience to enjoy it before I uploaded that. So I have those all ready to go, though. In the meantime, we're going to focus on this. Now, I bet you didn't know that we're underneath the test chamber now, and this is the sample that Gordon Freeman is going to push and basically cause the end of the world. So we are responsible for that. Good to know. But yeah, I have been pretty much talking over all the gameplay here, but there's nothing really that's too hard to figure out. We just have to switch back and forth between the other characters here. Now, Colette gets the crowbar first. That's going to be our first weapon, as per usual. And she's going to come up here on the upper level. And at this point, you'll be separated from each other. You won't be able to go. You won't be able to go down there, and she won't be able to come up here. You're separated by 2 doors that you can't go back through. So that's how they keep it to where you have to switch between the 2 characters instead of just doing everything with the same character, because that totally defeats the purpose of the 2 people necessary puzzles. So now the anti-mass spectrometer thingy is running, and the power is ridiculously high, as it shouldn't be, and everything is going to hell as just as planned. We have to wait for this whole schmeal to get over with, though, just like in the original games campaign.
Stage 2 emitters activating now.
There we go. But yeah, I'm really glad to be playing this game again. Like I said, I love the PS2 version of Half-Life. And having just finished Quake 2, I've not done with the Quake 2 engine yet. So this is probably going to be a pretty short LP. I don't have the entire thing recorded yet, so there might be a slight delay by the time I get the last couple missions uploaded, because I don't have this game quite as thoroughly test played as I did the original Half-Life campaign, just because I've only recently gotten to play it. So it's still relatively new to me. Oh yeah, we have to come down here with Gina and get the crowbar out of here. So she gets her crowbar, and the machine can continue to run. Otherwise, it's jammed in there and it won't run properly. So there we go. Not that it was going to run properly either way, but you know what I mean.
It should be coming up to you any moment now. Look to the delivery system for your specimen.
But I know I have it. I mean, this is going to be split up into separate missions too, to where after you complete one mission, you can then manually load up the next mission, and nothing you really have from one mission to the next really carries over. It's kind of just, you know, you start out with a stock loadout after each mission, so it's not a typical campaign like with the actual Half-Life campaign. Did we die? That would be a very anticlimactic way to end this. Or rather, to begin this. No, we're both still alive. Coincidentally, if one of the 2 characters dies, you automatically get a game over. So there's nothing you can do about that. I think that also works on split screen as well. So you probably should avoid having a troll with you that doesn't know how to play and is just trying to screw you up, because then you'll never get anything done. Now we can actually reunite the 2 characters now that all their tasks are done, and we can get out of this mess. And our first enemy is back, the good old head crabs. Yay, we miss these guys so much. And as always, they take a single hit with the crowbar, and maybe 2 or 3 shots with the pistol. So I want to go ahead and usually what I do as far as combat in Decay is I'll just run a character through the level and then get the other character to catch up to them. And it's usually the person who has more ammo or more health will be the person I'll run through and take out all the enemies. And then it's like I'm basically playing leapfrog with the 2 characters. And of course, if you're playing split screen co-op, you could have the 2 characters fighting side by side with each other. But in here in this security office, we get our pistol, so now we have that back. I believe the pistol in this texture pack for the PS2 version is modeled after a Beretta, when in the original PC texture model it was modeled after a Glock. So those are two radically different pistols. I'm not sure why they decided that would be a good transition, but it's no different than the machine gun, where it was a some other random submachine gun that was fairly small in the original texture version, and which are still the same models in the source version as well. And then in this version, it's a freaking M16 with a grenade launcher, and all the better for it. I'm pretty sure all the weapons have been are reskinned in this version, but maybe not in as many insignificant ways as you can detect. Like weapons like the rocket launcher and the energy weapon, you can't really determine how they've been retextured. But there's the headcrab zombies, and they're back again and looking much better in this version of the game than in the original PC texture version. Yeah, look at that fully rendered character model there. But one very specific reason why I don't like to have both characters in the same area with enemies at the same time is because, as a defensive precautionary measure, the second character that you're not controlling when you're playing a single player, if it comes within the field of vision of an enemy, it will start shooting wildly at the enemy until it dies with whatever weapon they're currently holding, until that one runs out of ammo. Then it'll just default cycle to another weapon. This guy's gonna get owned. The game actually glitched out there, and he just stopped fighting them and waited for them to blow him up, and it took them long enough too. That was actually supposed to be scripted a little bit better than that. Oops, I probably should have saved that for the other character. But who cares? Like I said, and the other character will just be wasting ammo like that if you have them just shoot wildly at the enemies until they die. So the characters don't really have any AI, it just sort of detects when there's an enemy in front of it and then just dumps out all their ammo into it, which I definitely don't want to do with the majority of the weapons in this game, so that's why I want to avoid getting the other character in combat if I'm not controlling them, because I don't want them to waste all their ammo like that. Because then when I need the ammo, it'll be nowhere to be found. There are some instances in the game where that rapid fire shooting that they're capable of will be useful, but I'll get more into that when it is specifically relevant. Right now, I'm going to avoid getting the other character in combat and mainly be focusing on moving the first character through and conserving my ammo as best as possible and trying to split it up between the two characters. Luckily, the game is pretty generous about giving both characters equal items, but the game is also pretty unforgiving when it comes to the characters dying. Like, you're not going to get... these missions are long and there are no checkpoints. You have to do the whole thing straight through, and we can't manually save. So all this is done in one take. So you'll never know how many times I actually failed trying to do this. There's a demonstration right there of what I was talking about. You can see Colette is just firing wildly at this thing and not hitting it really. So it'll also auto-target into its main hitbox. Oh, this is not going to work for us, is it? Nope. And of course, like everything else in Black Mesa, it explodes. But thankfully these guys are okay. Scientists are always okay when they've locked themselves into a room, right? Right? Well, hopefully. Yeah, you won't be able to get headshots or anything like that if the character is just auto-targeting them, so another reason why I prefer not to do that. Also, it may take... I'm not sure, I haven't actually seen this happen on screen, but it might take a while for that second character to turn around to hit an enemy that's behind it, so I also don't want to leave a character vulnerable when I'm not controlling them to where they could potentially die and therefore ruin the entire thing. Because as I said, these have to be done in one take. These three characters right here are all unique original character models for this version. And that's the first mission completed, so we'll be doing these all in segments according to each mission as they've been recorded. And that's it.